Hey guys, welcome to Behind the Basket. Hunter is out tonight, so we have Jay joining us from the Whiskey Hour. And we're both Houston fans, so tonight we're going to do something a little different. Today it's Behind the Basket H Town edition. So we both got on our Houston gear. You see mine? He's got his. Is that? Ooh, I thought it
That's
was from.
Olajuwon.
I thought it
Vintage.
was
When
from
Elijah,
the. I
hey,
saw that. Ooh.
hey, that wasn't aftermarket. I got this jersey when Olajuwon was actually with the Rockets in
Uh,
1986.
Okay, so our question today is going to be Houston related. And again, comment on it and we'll come back to it towards the end. What should Houston do next? And that's coaching, that's trading. We'll get to all of that later. Um, First, we'll jump into playoffs. So let's, I guess, start with what we normally do, Jay, is we talk about the series and then kind of our predictions for it. And then we look back at our predictions the next week. So
Okay.
last week, I can tell you what we predicted for the Heat and the Celtics. We both said, me and Hunter said the Heat in 5. And it's still looking like that might be the case. What do you think?
Well, I tell you what, if Tatum does like he did last go around, and if Hayward does what he did go last go around, it could very well be Heat in 5. But
Mm-hmm.
I think they got some feistiness still left in them, so I'm going Heat in 6. I think they're going to win Game 5, but I think the Heat will ultimately take it in Game 6.
I'll write that down. Um, so I'm still gonna go with Heat in 5. And so, like you were saying about Jason Tatum, actually he went scoreless in the first half of this last game.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
my point.
I mean, this late in the playoffs, you can't be choking like that. Um,
Look, man, you got Tatum. He's a key guy for the Celtics. He comes in, he goes what? He goes basically scoreless in the first half, comes back in the second half, realizes, oh, hey, wait a minute, I'm in the playoffs. Maybe I
right.
should maybe make a bucket or two if I actually want to see tomorrow in this bubble or be kicked out and sent home. So what
It's
does he
game
do? He goes
4.
off in the second half. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to pull out the win. Hayward, come on, guy. Hayward, come on, man. Hayward needs to kick it into gear. Tice needs to kick it into gear. These guys don't have much in the way of a post game
Yeah, so
compared to what they have in Abadiah in Miami.
I didn't actually get to. Oh, he hurt his wrist, right? Didn't he hurt his wrist
Yeah,
last?
but hey, what's up, Heather?
Hey, Heather.
He he heard it, but they already said they've already declared him that he's gonna be in the game. So it's not gonna be like he's not gonna be he's gonna be out there next game.
They need
How
him.
effective?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know how effective he's gonna be?
Well, so how did Walker do? Because I didn't get to watch this last game.
No,
So
you had your basics, right? So you had Walker, Tatum, and Brown all score in the 20s, right?
mm-hmm.
But the problem is this, and actually, I think Tatum I think he made it to the 30s. I think he actually went around 30. But the problem is this: the three went off and did their job, but the other ones didn't. Tatum got off to a slow start. Number one, number two, Smart only had like 10 points. Look, man, this is a game of X factors. You know what your
Mm-hmm.
basics are going to do, but these games are going to get won by the X factors. Marcus Smart, he put up like 10 points. He missed a lot of shots. If Smart doesn't come out and do his job, if Hayward doesn't come out and do their job, Tice doesn't come out and do his job, this Celtics team's not going to make it to the end. It's
No.
just not because they don't have the traditional post-up game. Just like the Rockets and their small ball, these guys can't hang because they got the post-up game for Miami, and Miami's bench, giving it basically Hero, however you say his name,
Here.
outscored all of Boston's bench.
So let's talk about Tyler Hero. He had 37 points. That is the most points scored from a rookie off the bench since 1971. It is. Someone said earlier in our network chat that it was the most from like the youngest player, but that's not true. It's
Francis.
Francis.
I'm gonna go back to Stripes. Francis. You were wrong, buddy. And let me tell you something. I want you to tell me exactly who it was, though, Elizabeth. Who actually was the first one to do it?
Magic Johnson.
Damn right. All day, Skippy. All day.
So he was making his own little records and stuff, and he's been consistently good all year. You know, he had a couple, I think, games where he might have struggled defensively and everything, but since the bubble specific, like, he has really just started to shine.
All right, let's break it down. Elizabeth, I know you're kind of a numbers guy. I'm kind of a numbers guy. Heather Young, what? Boston thinks that Stevens is not a good coach during the playoffs. Tell him to be quiet. It ain't Stevens' fault. He just doesn't have a mid game right now or a post game right now. I can't believe the Celtics. There's something up with them. I think they're almost unbeatable when they're in sync. No, not necessarily. Even when they're in sync, they're not going to go the distance. The Lakers are going to kill them because they got a post game. They got a post game. I'm sorry, they got a post game.
I agree. When they're in sync, though, they're a scary team.
I think they're a scary team for the East, but they're not. But the West is a beast of a monster, and they're not going to go to the West. The best team that's actually going to match up with them in the West is going to be Miami, because they have a mid game. They have Adebayo. If Adebayo's healthy, right, and their bench comes out and does what Hero did in game, let me tell you something. I want to go back to Hero for a minute, man. Look, people, get off of him. It's one game. One.
It's not one game, though.
No, it's one. Raptors have absolutely beat the Heat. Well, guess what, guy? The Raptors at home right now making enchiladas and tortillas. It ain't gonna happen.
And Shane, I'm gonna talk to you later about the Raptors. We'll get there. I have something.
Yeah, we'll get. Listen, I want to put out something real quick. I wrote down here something right here, and what it says is Francis. The average points versus Boston for Hero is 7.3, 2 assists. The man is shooting 26.7% behind the arc. Shut up. He's shooting 29% from the field goal. Shut up. One damn game, and everybody wants to know, oh my God, what does this remind you of, Elizabeth? I'll tell you. Linsanity. Anybody ever heard of it? Where's Jeremy Lin now? I think he's bagging groceries again.
Oh my
Stop
God.
it. One game. One.
Jeremy Lin. I'm sorry. I'm sharing our post right now, so it gets seen. Okay, but Jeremy Lin, I remember that craze. Oh my God.
He should. He was with the Rockets too. He went downhill. He was Linsanity in New York, and then he became Lip Dump Sanity in Houston. So I don't want to hear that crap.
I don't know. I think that he's going to be a solid player. I think he's just going to continue to grow. He's 20 years old. You know? I mean,
yeah. According to him, he started out in Milwaukee. He went to Kentucky, and everybody was doubting him in Milwaukee. They were doubting him in Kentucky. He went to Miami. They were doubting him in Miami. So his point of view is he basically is going to do it himself. Everybody's doubting on him. So he basically is just going to tell the world, shut up, I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to come out and do it. And I hope, Hero, if you're watching this, I hope you do, buddy. But I'm just not ready to get on that wagon just yet because you did one good game, which, by the way, hey, you did better than I could have done. I look great on you, but it's one game. One. If you do it consistently and you can get your regular season averages up, okay, then I'll jump on your. But listen, I jumped on Linsanity and I got screwed.
Jimmy Butler.
I'm not ready to jump yet.
About him, you know, saying he's going to do it himself and everything. He said that the whole team kind of has a chip on their shoulder, and that's how all of their attitudes are separately. It's just, I'm going to do it myself, and it seems to be.
I get you, but the man is ranked 86th in the league in points, 134 in rebounds, and 105 in assists. Come on, man. It's a good game from an average guy, and I'm not jumping on that bandwagon yet.
I think he only got like one vote for Rookie of the Year, which, I mean, there's no debate about that. Ja Morant was Rookie of the Year, in my opinion.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Ja Morant had that one. No.
Yeah, but, I mean, somebody saw his game. Somebody voted for him. So
the guy's got the intangibles, right? He does have good work ethic. Spoelstra has come out and said he's got good work ethic. You know, Butler came out and said it's just another day in the office for him, basically saying that, hey, this guy's not operating like a rookie. He's operating like he's been here before. You know, Hero said he's going to bet on himself because nobody else is betting on him. Hey, man, I hope you do it. But I'm just not jumping on it because of one game. You're going to have to continuously consistently. I'm not saying you got to get 37 points every night, but you're going to have to at least make a damn impact and get off the bench. At least 20. Give me 20 every night. All right. I'll believe in you.
scores 37 a night, and there's still haters everywhere.
Hey, listen, you can't hate. Listen, the man's 86. He hasn't done enough yet to get on that wagon. The man had a good night. Vincetti had several good nights. Where's he at now? Nobody talking about Vincetti anymore. Nobody on his jock strap anymore. Just
no one talks about
you can't sell out so quickly and just being ready to anoint the next Magic Johnson or Michael Jordan or whatever. We got to be realistic and understand it's a great game, and I'm not taking that away from him. But I'm not crowning him the next rookie of the year when he has only done one game.
I'm ready to see how he does against the Lakers, though, because I do think the Heat will take it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do. I absolutely agree with that.
But I would like to see how he plays against the Lakers, against their defenders, and see how he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's gonna do well. I mean, hey, if he continues to do what he's doing, he's gonna do well. Like I said, I just need to see more from him. That's it. Good game. Let's see if we can get a few more.
All right. So then on to the Lakers. I'm trying to find our predictions last week. What do you think is going to happen with that? I know you think the Lakers are going to take it.
Woo! Hey, listen. We had Joe Stevens on the Whiskey Hour not that long ago. Matter of fact, I think it was like Tuesday night, and he said some really good things about that series that I want to kind of just reiterate on this show. They don't have home court advantage. It's a bubble. It's AAU, summer basketball style. These guys are all on the same level playing field. At this point, it's just about who wants it more. There's no momentum. There's no competitive advantage. It is what it is. Let's go play some straight up basketball. Old school style in the gym. And I'm telling you right now, you could not count these Nuggets out. This ain't Celtics. This ain't Miami. These dudes are battle tested. And let me tell you something. The Rockets went down several times. 3-1 to Phoenix and came back and won it? Boston Red Sox went down 0-3 and came back and became the world champs. Look, am I saying that the probability is great? Hell no. But these dudes got it. They got what the Houston didn't have. They got a post game. They got what Celtics don't have, a post game. This dude, Jokic, ain't no joke. He's finesse.
He froze.
Shot. He's got a great work ethic. He may remind some people of the white Olajuwon. I'm not going to go all the way there just yet, but his game is resembling a lot of fashions. Because what do you know about Olajuwon? They said Olajuwon wasn't a true center. They said he was more of a power forward because he wasn't Shaq. Well, hell, man, look around you, left, right, up, and down. There ain't no more Shaqs left. So now what's the center position?
Nuggets have proven themselves twice since playoffs have started. They can come back from a deficit,
Oh, absolutely. And let me tell you something. I don't think people understand this quite seriously. Any breaking news when the NBA will start next season? Will they still be in the bubble? Hell, I don't know. I might be in a bubble next week. That's a good question, though, Heather. Most likely.
Hunter, I think, he said something about them starting having fans watch back in the what are they called? Arenas and stuff.
Yeah, that's what they're looking into. But look, there's still no cure for Corona. Corona's not changing. It's not like it's going to become Budweiser or something. So look,
we got to see how this flu season and stuff goes, I think, before they can make any decisions like that. But maybe they'll have it where it's like 25% capacity, like what the football teams are doing and stuff. But I'll pay. I'll go.
Watch this. If you think about this, the Lakers and Nuggets in the 3 games, right? The Lakers only legitimately won one game, and that was game 1. If you think about it, AD threw up that shot, and hey, Elizabeth, you go owe that man a serious apology.
I have that written.
No, we're not there yet. We're not there. I'm gonna give you that space. I'm gonna give you that time, but I want to finish this thought because I want everybody to understand something. Everybody's so down on the Nuggets. Why are you down on them? Because AD hit a lucky shot. That ball could have easily claimed off that rim, and we'd be sitting at 1-2 in favor of the Nuggets.
So
so how are you gonna tell me that the Nuggets don't have a chance when the only reason the Lakers are 2-1 is because they got a lucky shot from AD?
I can't find our predictions from last week, but I know that me and Hunter both said that we wanted the Nuggets to win this series, and we thought it might go to 7. But I still stand by that. I want the Nuggets to win. That would be freaking awesome. Everybody has the Lakers pinned for this win. But if the Nuggets can come back from 3-1 3 times, back to back to back, that, I mean, they'd be my new second team.
Absolutely. Agreed. Totally.
For sure. That's just amazing. And so right now, I was reading that Dwight Howard has been the Lakers X factor when it comes to Jokic. He's really been the one guarding him the most. You know, he only played 5 minutes in the Rockets series, but they switched over to the Nuggets, and he's been playing pretty much the whole series. So, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that thought. I had it somewhere.
Most likely because Howard likes to get in people's heads, and they're using Howard this series more as, number one, he's great at rebounding. We all know that. He's great at the dominant post. He's getting, matter of fact, he's actually stepped up his game quite a bit. He used to be a little bit more passive, but he's actually getting more aggressive in the post now, which is probably why they're using him over McGee. But the greatest thing about Howard is he gets in your head. And in game one, they got away from that. But in game one, they were in their heads all the way up, down, left, and right. And Howard was all up in Jokic's head. And that's, I think, the reason why they're using him, because he's effective in the mental game, but he's also playing a really good defensive game as well.
He actually got in trouble in the third game. What's up, Phil? These are your people.
Yeah, that's my big boy. What's up, Phil? Hopefully you're getting that work done tonight.
Yeah, but Howard actually got in trouble in game 3 because he kept talking smack to Jokic, and the ref, he said something like, "That's the second time I've heard that. Cut it out. I want to hear it again." I don't know what he said to him, but apparently it was offensive enough that the ref called him out on it. So you're right about that.
I'm sure it wasn't something too nice.
Huh?
As I'm sure it wasn't something too nice if they warned him. I'm sure he got into his head really good.
Yeah. Okay, so you've been defending the Nuggets. Do you think that they will win? What's your prediction?
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I feel like, obviously tonight's game, but I don't even think tonight's game really matters because, look, man, they've come down 3-1 before. Now, yeah, it's the Lakers. This isn't the Clippers. It's not Utah. It is the Lakers. But if they can come out aggressive like they did in games 2 and 3, two really, they use the same formula in game 3 as they used in game 2. Just game 2, they got lucky and hit that winning shot. If they keep up that same formula, there's no reason why they can't win tonight, even if the series, and then go into 3 and 4 with some sort of momentum behind them. And I don't think you've heard the last of the Nuggets, man. I really think this is going to go game 7, but tonight is obviously a pivotal game to see where they are coming off that win the other night.
What do you think about LeBron? How has he been doing? Would you say he's still playoff LeBron, or is he tired playoff LeBron?
No, LeBron's still LeBron. I think LeBron one of them few unicorns, like Joe calls him unicorn. I mean, he's a unicorn. That guy, he don't seem to be trailing off at all. The man went off for 20. AD did his job. Bron did his job. Both of those guys did their jobs. The problem that they lost last night was their bench. Their bench did them in.
I don't remember what game it was. I was, I said last game. I follow the Twitter feeds a lot during the game because I like to see what other people are saying about it. And a lot of people were talking about him in fourth quarter during one of those games, but he didn't score very much. He wasn't very effective.
He may have had a little bit of an off night, but I mean, they all have off nights. I mean, look at Tatum. And even Ron or even Anthony Davis, both Davis and Bron have said it, where one time one guy will be doing well and the other guy may score a few. The next time this guy they play off each other. And sometimes one will have the better night than the other. I don't know if they both kind of equally had well, right? They both scored 20. It just kind of goes back and forth between those two guys. The problem is not those two guys. The problem is the bench or the role players. I'll give you an example. Rondo hurt the Lakers with his lack of production. He went 4 for 10 with 0 for 3 from the 3-point range. So he had a terrible shooting night. He had 2 rebounds and 8 assists. Caruso hurt the Lakers. He went out 25 minutes, went 1 for 7 and 0 for 4 behind the 3-point range. He only had 2 points. So you got a lot of guys taking a lot of shots and bricking it. And honestly, if your stars can only do so much, and it's proven if you give Braun and you give AD theirs, but you take away the rest of them, hey, and your players are hitting. Well, hell, it's simple mathematics, right?
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's how the Rockets lost that series. Yes, they don't have the post game and everything, but they lost because the bench scored so well, multiple games.
Right.
Rondo went off like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember how much he scored that one night. It was like 20 something. I don't think he had 30, but he had a great shooting night against them, and they won by landslide that game. It was a sad game for the Rockets.
Man, that whole Rockets series was sad. After game one, it just got exposed, right? It got exposed for what it was, man. Honestly, hope Rockets win. Hey, look, I do too, but they're gonna have to revamp that whole team. I'm sorry, small ball don't win. We can get into that when we talk about the question about the Rockets. We get more on that later, but at the end of the day, the Nuggets are clicking on all cylinders right now. They got their bench producing, they got their stars producing. Lakers, they've been streaky with their bench. They got great production out of the two main guys, and they had a good in game one production out of Rondo. The problem is in games 2 and 3, they went missing. And you can't go missing against the Nuggets because these guys are scrappy and they are hungry. And when you get a team that's hungry and has nothing else to lose, they're dangerous.
And they, again, they have that comeback mentality. They know how to do it. They know how to be beaten down and come back and win. So I'm still calling Nuggets in 7, even though it might be wishful thinking. Oh, we're going to talk about the Rockets here in a little bit. This is the H-Town edition. We're going to get to that. You just wait.
Yeah. The key for the Nuggets, I think, throughout the rest of this playoffs, if they want to actually win the playoffs and go to the Western or go to the NBA Finals, is going to be continue to be getting contributions from their bench and putting that pressure. If they can put the pressure and keep getting the production from their bench and keep that game plan working, hey, there's no reason why they can't beat the Lakers. And Tross, I know you're out there, and that's really angering and pissing you off right now with the Lakers. But it's true, and you know it, buddy, because right now you guys should really be 1 and 2 and not 2 and 1.
Okay, so are you saying Nuggets in 7, or are you saying Lakers in 7, but Nuggets?
I'm saying the Nuggets in 7. I believe that.
Oh.
And you can write that down. And Tross, don't get mad at me. Don't get butthurt, but it's true. You guys only legitimately won game 1. Game 2 and game 3 was a Nuggets game. You guys are 2 and 1 because of a simple last-ditch effort shot by AD. And by the 6-pound, 7-ounce baby Jesus, it went in.
I have to talk about that moment because last week I sat here and I talked about how AD doesn't shoot threes. And I straight up said he doesn't have that. He can't do that. So I have to apologize. This is my formal apology to Anthony Davis on the Lakers. Okay, he can shoot threes, I guess. Nuggets.
The funny thing about it is they said that when he drained that 3 that he yelled Kobe, but what I read on his lips was when he drained that 3, he yelled Elizabeth.
This is to prove you wrong.
Elizabeth!
Oh gosh. So I do apologize for saying he doesn't shoot threes, but whatever. I'm still not a Lakers fan. I feel like if they win, I'm going to be okay with it because it's like a tribute to Kobe. But after that, next year, I will not be okay with them winning again. I just need it to stop after this.
Yeah, you put that good vibes on Anthony Davis because he had no problems hitting those threes after you said that.
Okay, so next we got some coaching changes on behalf of the Laker delegation. We only say, okay, well, thank you. Okay, so we got coaching changes. Billy Donovan from the Thunder went to Chicago. I don't really even fully know who the Bulls have. They were not very memorable last year.
Yeah, the only thing I can remember about the Bulls is Levine or Levine, however you say that man's name.
Oh yeah, Zach Levine, I think is what
Zach Levine, I think that's how he said. Yeah, that's really about the only guy from the Bulls that I really actually when Thibodeau left and Rose left and stuff forth like that, I just stopped following the Bulls all the way around.
And so actually, to bring up something else from last week, you made fun of me for mispronouncing a person's name who we'll get to later, but I just want everybody to know once again, I don't, when I watch like the games and stuff, I turn down the announcers because they're all so biased.
You said Castle. The man's name is clearly Cassell.
Cassell.
Think of it like cassette tape. Can you say cassette? Because it's the same way. Cassette and Cassell. It's Sam Cassell.
Cassette has two.
You know this, Elizabeth. You're a Houston fan.
It's spelled okay. The double TE is what makes it make the et noise.
Oh, okay. I'll tell Sam that you apologize for that one too.
But yeah, I definitely mispronounce everything all the time. I can like I rewatch these like after we air them and stuff just to see if I've messed anything up or whatever, if I'm making stupid faces and stuff. And yeah, I mispronounce stuff all the time, and I know how to say some of it sometimes, and I'm just like, why did that come out like that?
Girl, you're gonna be all right. Everybody says things wrong. I thought I said the name Thibodeau wrong until I found out how to say the X part, because it's Cajun, and I messed that all up. I'm like, how do you say this? It's got an X at it. How do you pronounce that? But it's Thibodeau. Yeah.
Okay, so
I think I said Thibodeau or something. I don't know.
I don't know any of their players. I think Chris Dunn is a rookie this year, maybe. Nope. Wait. Let
me tell you something about the Bulls. No matter who they have on there, that man is going to have to go in there and reorganize pretty much that entire team to get what he wants, because they honestly don't have the right chemistry, the right team. To make it Billy Donovan's team, he's going to have to go in there and really reevaluate his players and what they have. And then do you trade Zach LaVine? Watch this. He's going to have to go in rebuilding mode. Do you change Zach LaVine and for draft picks and then see what else you have to trade and then just really start rebuilding number one out of the draft and number two out of free agency? Chris Paul's available. He's got a relationship with Chris Paul. That'd be a great guy to start off your rebuilding process. Just to kind of,
I would think so, but I don't think that most people would agree with that, because even though Chris Paul did so much this past season, I still don't think people give him the credit for that, like the full credit that he completely took a team that was adrift. They lost their star that had been there for years, and he formed them into a playoff team. And that was Chris Paul's doing. Well, it was Billy Donovan too, but a lot of that was Chris Paul. But I don't think that coaches see him and think, oh, I can build around him.
No, yeah, they mainly use Chris Paul as basically for his leadership, But yeah, you're not going to really use Chris Paul in a rebuild mode. You would use Chris Paul, for example. You would use Chris Paul in Milwaukee, for example, because you need somebody with leadership to help guide Giannis and do the right things there, and also be a distributor.
Would you have the same situation like with Harden though, where you've got your star who knows it's his team, and then you've got Chris Paul who is a leader, and I feel like maybe there would be headbutting.
Well, people have said that about Harden and putting Harden and Paul together, and and putting Harden with Westbrook together. I think it's good. Let me tell you one thing I know about Chris Paul is he's a team guy. And he'll do the right things. Chris Paul's always going to do the right things in that leadership role. That's why every team he's ever gone to that already had something in place to be competitive, he's elevated each and every one. He did with the Clippers, the Rockets, with Oklahoma City. I mean, everywhere he's gone, he's been a leader, and he has transcended those players, and he's played with big time guys.
I agree, but what I'm saying is it's not him that's the problem. It's the other stars. So if you put him with Giannis, the guy who just shared a video on Twitter of him and Michael Jordan and Hakeem, like comparing himself to those two players.
Yeah, but you know what though? But that's where because Giannis has never had a leader. He's never had a veteran leader on his team to show him differently. So he may be going that direction because he doesn't know any better. So Chris Paul, if he came in there, you can't play with a bigger person than James Harden.
I agree.
And he worked very well with James Harden. And he gave that team direction.
Up until the end. The last, I don't know.
Well, yeah, right towards the end, I think it was. But for many, I mean, hell, they went to Game 7 with the Warriors. I mean, they had that formula.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd be okay. I think he would. Westbrook, maybe not.
No. Well, no.
but I do think Chris Paul has the veteran and the maturity and the experience to work with that team. I think he absolutely does.
I look forward to when Chris Paul is coaching. I think that he is going to be an amazing coach one day.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think that that's going to be who you want to be for sure. He's got like crazy basketball IQ,
Oh yeah.
He's, like you said, a leader. Like I think that he's gonna make a great coach one day. And I mean, he's obviously already a great player, But,
the sky's the limit for him, honestly. After basketball,
Well, so what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I mean, if they put Nash and Jason Kidd out there, first years, no coach experience whatsoever, and give them the shot, there's no reason why they won't give Chris Paul that same opportunity if he became available.
Yeah. For sure. I agree. And I think that he'll definitely get a chance right when he's ready, I don't even think he'll go to like assistant position. He might go straight to head coach. You never know.
I really think that guy's got, like you said earlier, I think he has the IQ to exactly do what he's doing. He's already a coach on the court. So I mean, it wouldn't take much to transcend from the court to the actual sideline and doing what he's already doing.
Right. Okay. So then 76ers seem to have their eye on D'Antoni. This goes a little bit into the Rockets stuff, but not much because he's no longer with us. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
I've been waiting for this topic.
Oh, you're ready. Okay.
Because girl, it's like Joe Stevens said when he was with the Rockets, he could not wait for him to get out of town. He was really kind of hoping that D'Antoni would go to Reliance Center, grab Bobo, and get them both out of town.
Mm-hmm.
D'Antoni is a small ball guy. He's got a great regular season winning percentage. There's no doubt about it. I think it was like 173, 73. I mean, it's insane what he's done on the regular season. The problem is what he does in the regular season does not transcend the post. The post playoffs, it never transcends. He couldn't do it with Phoenix. He couldn't do it with the Rockets several times. Now, the closest he ever got was with Chris Paul and Clint Capella, Game 7. If he would have won that series, he would be an NBA champion coach right now. But what happened? Paul got hurt.
Saddest moment in sports history for me.
Paul got hurt, and they just couldn't complete the rest of it. But that again shows you, number one, how great Chris Paul was, because when they lost Paul, there went the series. But even said that, he had the traditional big man, the traditional point guard, and he was playing, and he had a great defensive coach, assistant coach, not him, because he's an offensive-minded coach, but his assistant coach.
The Pelicans.
Yes, he had a really great, and I can't say his name because it's really hard. It's like a Polish name, I believe. And they let him go right after about the 2019 season. They let that assistant coach go. And when they let him go, then it went from being a defensive-minded team to an all-offensive team. And that's when the small ball got ushered in, and Clint Capella got ushered out, and Paul got ushered out, and Westbrook came in. And he went to a traditional small ball, 7-second offense, 3-point analytics, and all that other stuff that he preaches, and that's the problem. How will he fit in? Exactly will he fit in with the Sixers? He's coming from a small, fast team to a big, slow team. You think them big boys getting down there in 7 seconds? No, they stopping for a sandwich.
Oh yeah, they're
maybe
not
a Coca-Cola.
As fast as the Rockets were. No way. No.
Way.
Yeah. So, what was that coach's name? Try and say it. You just.
Oh, I'd have to go back and look it up again. I tried to say his name, and I knew I was going to butcher it. Give me a second. I'll come back to that later on, and I'll tell you that.
he really was. Where do you see the Dallas Mavericks need to be a playoff contender?
They just need to keep getting more experience, honestly. Maybe make one or two minor adjustments.
Minor, yeah.
But they have a damn good team.
It's. I think that they were better set up than the Rockets were. You know.
Yeah, well, they got Luka, man. Luka's like Joe said, man. There's several unicorns, not many, but there's like 3 or 4 unicorns in the league, and Luka's one of those unicorns. He's that generational guy, and when you have somebody like that on your team, you can build around that, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. They're building around Luka, and the more they continue to build around him, the better that team's going to get. They got the right coach, they got the right owner. You know, they have all the intangibles. They just got to continuously build around him. Probably get some more post players to help Luka out in the paint. But, man, they're not that far off.
Maybe some more bench players.
Yeah, I would definitely say that.
They definitely have their center locked up. They're good with that. Let me see. I don't know who they have on their bench. I feel like all these teams that left the bubble, I've done stopped thinking about them, and I don't even remember half of the people on their teams.
Oh, man. I thought I had it for a second.
Oh, yeah. So they got Porzingis, Seth Curry, but he's not off the bench. Let's see. Hardaway was really good for them. They got quite a few people. I remember Michael Kidd Gilchrist. I'm not sure how to say it.
All right, you ready for the name?
Yes.
It is Jeff, and I'm going to spell it because I don't know how to say this. Bzdelik. Bzdelik. You know what I'm talking about?
Belzachuk. Yeah, I know who.
Yeah, something like that. When they let go of Jeff, I'm gonna say B just for the time being. When they let go of Jeff B, that's when they lost all their defensiveness and then went straight into their offensive mode.
And you remember,
and that's really.
Do you remember he came back for?
He did. They let him go. Furtada went and got him back.
Yeah,
he played another year or two, and then right after, I think 2019 is when they let him go, and then in 2020 it was just straight offensive, analytical stuff.
It was right after they lost to the Warriors when KD got hurt and everything. As soon as that ended, they got rid of him. They got rid of the entire coaching staff, actually, like pretty much everyone except D'Antoni.
Now, let me ask you this. Why are you going to get rid of a coaching staff that took you to Game 7 and due to an injury, you missed the finals? Why would you mess with that? Why would you?
They shouldn't have messed with the formula at all. They had it.
No.
You know?
But here's the deal, right? We're talking about the Sixers. So D'Antoni is going to go to the Sixers. What's the first thing D'Antoni is going to do? He's going to start getting rid of players. He's going to bring in his roster play. Word is, Elizabeth, he may be going after Harden. He's going to try to lure Harden over to the Sixers.
Harden has 2 more years on his contract, and I don't think that Houston gives him up. I mean,
I really hope they don't. I'm still a believer in Harden. I just think he needs to have the right people around him to be successful. Yeah. I think he needs the right coach. I think he needs the right, and they need to get a big man to help in the paint and go from there.
Let's get into the Rockets, because I feel like
all right,
dancing around it the whole time. Bleacher Report headline. Okay, yes. So Harden has 2 more years on his contract. I don't think that the Rockets try to trade him for anything. I mean, he's James Harden. If anything, they're going to try and keep him. But say they want to make some moves this offseason, which they desperately need to. I think that they're going to try and move around Westbrook.
Possibly. And here's the deal. So, and I don't mean to cut you. I apologize. If D'Antoni goes to Sixers, and you know he does not like big man ball, slow big man ball, and he's gonna, if he does look for Embiid, he's gonna either look to Embiid for 2 things: to either get a star player in return that fits his offense, or draft picks so he can go out and get his own guy. So what would it hurt? What I would love to see happen is D'Antoni will trade Embiid to Houston for Russell Westbrook, and if it takes a draft pick, give a draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm telling you, they had the team. They got Gordon, they got Covington, they got all the players. They Austin. They got the team. They just don't have the big man in the paint. And Embiid, he ain't always hurt. He did just fine. He played. He's a crybaby sometimes. And sometimes he don't always score like he should. But he's still a defensive presence. He's still a big body that can control the paint. Harden wants the ball anyway. All I really care is, can Embiid go in there and block some shots, get some rebounds, and control the paint, protect the paint.
But I do think that they're going to probably get rid of quite a few of their assets because, like, I hope that they won't get rid of Covington. I think that he just really showed out as soon as we got him.
Yeah.
I hope they get rid of Jeff Green or PJ Tucker. I mean, there's I love all the players.
Yeah, I agree. I so agree with you. I think they go up PJ Tucker, my heart is going to cry.
If it would have been before the series against the Lakers, I think that they would have been able to get quite a bit for Austin Rivers based off how he played this year and that 41-point game in the bubble and everything. He didn't really do as well against the Lakers, so I think that it kind of maybe diminished it a little bit. But I do think maybe they'll try and make a move with him because, and I think he deserves it. I think he took the minimum to stay with the Rockets. I mean, like $2 million.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. If you ask me who are your untouchable players on the Rockets, I would say I got 3. Outside of this 3, you can do whatever you want. Tucker, Harden, and Gordon. Please let me keep those 3.
I agree, but I think that they're gonna try and move Gordon. I that's what I see happening. I think it's
and they may be, because Gordon has proven himself that he's a great defender and he's a hell of a good 3-point shooter. And people always look for shooters and they always look for defense. And that guy kind of fits both of those molds, and he's dependable.
I think that if they try to keep Westbrook, Gordon's going to be the first to go because he's probably can get the most for them.
Absolutely. But if I was for Tata, I would be like, hey, look, I got Westbrook, I got House, which is another young guy who does have a good shot. I got Westbrook, House, Austin Rivers. I'll package those. I'll package those 3 all day, and I personally think that's a pretty good return for D'Antoni for his big man, which he's not going to use anyway. So he get 3 really good players, or you can package Russell with a draft pick and House and give those 3.
We don't have any draft picks.
That's right. We did. We gave up all our draft picks for him, didn't we? Well, I guess we can't really do that route then.
No, we don't.
That's a good take. That's a good take.
No,
but it depends on where he goes too, though.
That's true.
If he goes to Philly, they're not going to the finals.
He won't fit in everybody's setup.
He's a ball dog. He's a dominant guy, right?
Your thoughts on Kevin Garnett? Do you see him?
Garnett? I think Garnett's in a retirement home right now.
Yeah, he's definitely out of the league, I believe.
No. He if anything, he's actually looking to try to purchase or try to be in a buying group to buy the Minnesota Timberwolves right now.
Last time I saw him, he was on that movie with Adam Sandler. What was that movie?
Oh yes, I remember that. I don't remember the name of the movie, but I do remember him with Sandler.
Yeah, it was. It just came out. It was with the diamonds, something about diamonds, big cuts, or something like that.
Oh, that's a Google-worthy topic later on. I'm going to find out that later.
It's a newer
Google-worthy topic.
Okay, so one thing that I would like to see the Rockets do is get Serge Ibaka. He is a free agent next season or this season. Actually,
he's a forward, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He's a forward, Ibaka.
Mm-hmm.
What's his height?
He's not very tall. He's not. I
don't know how would Ibaka help them? Is what I'm getting at. Like, we need a legitimate
He's a good.
We need somebody 6'10" or 6'11". Oh, is he 7 foot? Ibaka 7 foot?
Is he? Oh, well, see, there you go. But I like him for his defense.
Yeah, he does play good defense. I'm gonna give you that. He did it. He did good with defense when he was with OKC. He did really good with the Raptors. I would take him. I wouldn't give up a lot for him though, because he's a little bit older too. I mean, how much lifespan is he gonna have?
Right.
He's
But
been
I mean,
around for a hot minute.
that's what I'm saying. We could get him for a decent
Cheap.
price. And
Yeah.
he's not the only free agent for the Raptors. Actually, the Raptors are going to have to. I wanted to tell Shane about this earlier.
Yeah, 31, Rick. Yeah, that's about what I was thinking, about 31 years old.
What?
So you're probably going to get about maybe 4 more years of production out of him, and then he'll be out of the league.
But that's Harden's age. That's Jimmy Butler's age. That's my age.
Bro, please. Yeah, I know that, but Harden's Harden. Ibaka's Ibaka, man. I mean,
I'm saying like Harden.
31 is not old by any means is old, but you got to understand in basketball, and when you're taking all the beats and the hits, and basketball age, that's old.
No,
not in human years, but in basketball years. Because, like Joe said, you only have so many jumps in your career before you get hurt. How many jumps you have before that injury happens, you don't know. But at 31, and you're a prime guy down low in the paint, and you're always grinding.
Mm-hmm.
Man, those jumps might get less and less. I mean, Harden's on there too, right? I mean, and once you get in your 30s, you've done a lot of jumps, and Harden has done a lot of jumps. Who's to say that Harden won't want to get? Oh God, I don't want to say that.
Don't say that.
I'm knocking on some wood somewhere. I know I'm knocking on wood, but yeah, find some wood on your. But it's a possibility. I mean, look, man, it is. When you get in your 30s, I mean, things are possibilities.
No, I get winded running up the stairs. Like, no, I get it. I mean, it's you start definitely aging out, but LeBron is 34. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that Ibaka has
a unicorn though, and those unicorns come once in a lifetime. You know what I mean? Like he found some kind of fountain of youth or something.
Well, well, I guess I was gonna say Vince Carter. He was 42, but he wasn't playing as much. He really wasn't. I mean, he was getting.
He rode the bench for the better part of the second half of his career. I mean, once he got in the mid 30s, he started riding that bench a lot, so his body got saved a lot.
Sorry, my kids knocked on that door. Well, so the Raptors, they have quite a few free agents. They've got Fred VanVleet, Serge. I don't know how to say this guy's last name, even though he's super popular. Marc Gasol.
Oh, Gasol. Now there's a name. And now Gasol's he's in his mid 30s too, right?
Mm-hmm. But he's a solid player for the Raptors. So what are they going to do? No,
right. If we can get Ibaka or, like you said, Gasol see, he's 35. Okay, so I'm not giving up too much for Gasol. If we can get him to come here or trade on the cheap, I mean, would you possibly? But I don't know if they have anybody that the Raptors want that we're willing to part ways with for a 35-year-old center.
Yeah,
or power forward. I forget.
It's going to have to work some magic for sure. Like, I don't know. It's going to depend on who they get for the coach, what their vision is, but with no draft picks and the people that we have to trade, like Daniel House, yes, he was a great player. I think that he was great for the Rockets, but then he did what he did in in the bubble and let his whole team down. I mean, that says something. They all knew the rules, and
absolutely, they knew the rules.
I think that
people break the rules and they get caught, and he got caught.
Right. I think that that'll make a difference. I think that his price went way down after that happened. Because did he call the whole series? No, but he definitely had the team lose focus because of all of that. No one knew what was happening with him, if he was coming back or not. And after the first game he didn't show up was when the Rockets started looking a mess. I mean, because before that, those first few games, they were fighting back.
Right.
I think.
How many years does Giannis have left on his contract? Do we know? Is he actually in free agency, or is he just on the trade block, or is he looking to be traded?
I believe that he is a free agent, or he's not testing free agency. He hasn't said that, but I believe that he can. They're going to offer him the Supermax or whatever.
I'm telling you, man, if I was Fertitta right now, or Fertitta, however you say his name, Morey, whatever, man, I would offer that guy the Supermax. I would do everything I could in my possible powers to try to lure him away from Milwaukee, which he's already unhappy with.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, like everybody would be flipping out if he was with Harden because they talk smack to each other. Eligible for summer 2020.
Yeah, then that's what I was thinking. Okay, so a 5-year access started at 200. Yeah,
They,
I mean, and here's the deal, right? Okay, so based on those numbers, which by the way, thank you for the numbers, I appreciate that. So based on that, I'm telling you right now, if the Rockets are serious, if they really want to go all in for a championship, Furtada needs to open up that paycheck a little bit and just go. I don't know if he has it. I know we're pretty tight.
do you know anything about him?
Huh?
Do you know anything about him, Fertitta?
Fertitta, no, he does spend the money. Is that how you say it? I'm probably saying his name wrong.
No. He is the cheapest of cheap. He does everything he can to avoid luxury tax every single year. He is a very cheap guy. I mean, like not even just in basketball in general. He owns those restaurants in Houston. What are they? I gotta Google this because I know it.
Is it Mexican food?
No, it's
like Papa's,
Papados, and all of those chains, Landry's.
He owns a Papados chain.
Yeah, he's
yeah. So Papacitos, Papados, Papa's Barbecue,
all of them.
Wow.
So workers who have worked there at those. I mean, they're like he's the cheapest dude you will ever meet. Like they've met him and stuff, and he's not the greatest boss from what they say and everything. He's not willing to spend the extra luxury tax. Maybe this year, maybe after losing again, I don't know. But as far as
you cheap, and listen, and Giannis ain't just gonna settle for the cheap. He's out for the real deal money. So yeah, they're gonna have to pay him. And if that's the case, if he is really that frugal with his money, he's not gonna spend the Supermax to bring him in. Even though, and that's what I'm saying. Okay, so let's say you don't go after him. Okay, let's say Giannis is just too expensive and Rockets don't want to pay that money. Then you got to turn yourself to Embiid and look at D'Antoni and they look, we got a relationship with you. You are our coach. We didn't fire you. You left. Okay. No hard feelings, no harm, no foul. Hey, look, this was your team. You coached it.
Yes,
so he's worth the money, but here's the deal. But we can't afford him. So that's why we got to turn our attention to somebody that is out there that D'Antoni, number one, is willing to part ways with. Number two, has a chemistry with the team he just left. And number three, if he's willing to go for Westbrook or another package deal, we're willing to give him up anyway. Embiid would be okay. He would fit in perfectly with the Rockets too. He don't have to be the greatest center in the world. He just has to be dominant at the paint and protect the paint.
What would you think about Kevin Love?
I would take Kevin Love.
I saw like
the one thing about Kevin is I don't. God, man, he's a great shooter. He's a good shooter, but his defense is not going to be like what you would get with Embiid or Giannis or whatever. He's just more of a shooter than he is a defender. So that might be the issue with him, right?
I think realistically we have to expect to get somebody who wasn't he injured most of last season. Yeah, but I saw the reason I said Kevin Love was people were throwing out trade ideas for the Rockets on Twitter and everything. And that was one of them was Kevin Love. And I remember that not last season, maybe the season before, there was some talk that we might get him. And back then, everyone seemed to think that he would fit good in the system. Now, we've had changes since then. We don't have Capella. It's definitely a different team than what it was last season. So I don't know now. But it's definitely one of those trade rumors going around.
Well, watch this. I'm going to tell you right now, you know who the Rockets should go after their head coach? And I'm going to steal this, Joe. I'm stealing your idea because it was really good when you made it. And I'm going to say it here on this show today to further exasperate it. Hopefully they do it. Mark Jackson. They should go after Mark Jackson for the next Rockets head coach because the way Joe explained it made a lot of sense to me. He speaks Harden language. He speaks Russell Westbrook language. Now, maybe they don't keep Westbrook. Maybe they trade him for a center like we were talking about earlier. But if they don't and they keep him, I mean, you want a coach that can relate to the players. And let me be honest with you. D'Antoni didn't have, oh, good night. You have to be good, girl. He didn't have Jay-Z in his tech deck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Mark Jackson probably would. And a lot of times that chemistry can be bonded, like Joe was saying. And I believe that. And you need to have that chemistry between your coach and your players to get their buy-in.
I'm looking him up because I don't know much about Mark Jackson.
He actually, Mark Jackson put together the Golden State Warriors that Kerr inherited. Klay
Hmm.
Thompson, Seth Curry, and all those draft picks. Mark Jackson assembled that team, and Kerr came in and coached the team that Mark Jackson put together.
I didn't know
And if
that.
we get somebody like that, he could rebuild us into what we need to be.
Mm-hmm. That is interesting. I'm gonna have to look more into him because I looked up 3 names that I've been hearing thrown around, and he wasn't one of them. Which I also forgot all about Jeff Van Gundy. I was gonna look up him too. I also ran out of
Yeah,
time.
Van Gundy was with the Rockets way back in the day. Who was with
2013,
them?
I think was his last year.
Yeah.
No, he didn't coach.
I think we had Steve Francis when Van Gundy was here. I believe we had Steve Francis.
Yeah,
I think Katina Mobley, Francis, Cato, all those guys. If I'm not mistaken, we had those. That was pretty much the team. I think Cato was their center, if I'm not mistaken. Because Yao Ming came in right at about the time I think we had Mikal. Yeah, Yao Ming. Okay, Yao Ming did. Okay, and Shane Battier. Right. And then Battier went off to Miami when Braun and all them were there and got his rings.
I would have pronounced that as Battier.
That's Battier. Yeah, that was 07. You're right. Absolutely.
07 to 2013, I think, was when he stopped. I think that's what I read like last week.
Which is another player. God, I wish the Rockets had, man. Battier was a defense machine. Like that guy, man, he was probably one of the best defenders the Rockets had outside of Vernon Maxwell.
Okay, so you need to know this about me. As a kid, I was a Rockets fan, but I didn't understand basketball. All through high school, all of that, I was boy crazy. I was in drill team and stuff. I did not watch basketball. It wasn't till 5 years ago I got sober and I needed something to obsess about. And so sports became my thing. So my best knowledge is from 5 years plus, like 5 years on. But before that, I mean, I know stuff about it because I remember like I watched the Rockets and stuff as a kid, but not like you did.
Right. And that's okay. Hey, listen, girl, you in the game now.
Well, yeah, I know.
Hey, and I'm quite a bit older than you. I'm not no 31. I might be about 17. You probably be my daughter, honest. But
I mean,
I've been around a hot minute
for now. But I just, like the players from back then and everything. I wish I was watching then. I wish I knew all of that stuff because I just don't. I got obsessed in my sobriety, so this is my obsession now for sure. And I can talk Rockets now for sure with anybody, but.
Girl, yeah, that's what's up. Well, first of all, congratulations on your sobriety. Good job.
Oh, thank you. I'm 5 years sober. In July was my 5 years. But okay, so the coaches I looked up were Ty Lue, Sam Cassell. Did I say it right?
Yes, absolutely.
And Becky Hammon, because I've heard her name thrown around, even though I think she'll get the Spurs position. I think Popovich is going to retire, and she's going to take that.
Wow. I'm not ready for Pop to retire. Pop is still good, man. I just think he just doesn't have quite the team around him like he used to back in the day. But Pop,
right? Well, I mean, he is the GOAT of coaching.
Yeah, he really is. He is because he didn't inherit that. He built those teams and he put that discipline in those teams.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of got away from that. I wish we could go back to old school basketball. I'm not really a big fan of either dunking it or 3-pointing it.
Dude, we got 2 minutes left. I thought we still had like 15 minutes. Damn.
Oh.
Well, okay. I would vote Ty Lue. He's got the most I think he's got the most experience because he's taken a team to the championship and won and lost twice in finals. Sam Cassell, he is a 3-time NBA champion, but he has never coached a team that far. Becky Hammon has never been a head coach except for the Spurs Summer League, and she did win the title for that, but not the actual team. So I'm voting Ty Lue. That's where I'm going with it.
If we were going to go Rockets, which I don't have a problem going back to Clutch City because I love Clutch City. I would have loved to see Kenny Smith try to get his name in the hat. Kenny the Jet, baby. But he's not leaving that broadcast booth. He's happy where he's at and he's whatever.
Where is he?
Oh, he's over at Broadcaster now. Kenny Smith. He's
Oh.
he's the one that goes on with Barkley and all them.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, it's been a pleasure being. We only got a few seconds left, but I want to say thank you for letting me come and hang out with you. I know I'm a little bit more crazier than Hunter Main. Hunter Main, we look forward to having you back.
I do have one other thing. Hunter Miney Gang, it was his birthday last week. And so if you rewatch this, Hunter, happy belated birthday. And I hope you feel better and are back next week. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.